For those of you that don't know, I am Meg with ModernRoots. I am the developer and creator of the body care at the stores and online at modernroots.org or the ModernRoots stores. Welcome, guys. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we are going to get started tonight. Again, like I said, we're going to be talking about dry, irritated skin, dry, irritated, itchy skin as we start to go into cooler weather. North Dakota, well, welcome everyone. That's what many people are experiencing now with the cold weather shift, especially northern climates, or those that have dry skin all year long. And we're going to talk about why that typically happens and how we can help to remedy that. The concept of washing. So I'm going to jump right in here to the concept of washing. Taking a shower or a bath has been noted amongst some professionals over many years to make sense, as the idea of those with dry skin do not possess enough oil or don't possess enough oil in their oil glands right under the dermis layer. While that may have some truth, the following is an incorrect myth that had over the years been widely adopted or accepted, and that's not taking a shower will allow the skin to build up oil. Okay, so the myth that I'm talking about here is the concept of not taking a shower or a bath will allow people with dry skin to build up oil on their own skin and produce more over time because they're not washing it off. Okay, so that's a myth. And I have debunked this for 15 years and watched people mend their skin within a few days of changing just the process of showering. But on the contrary, skin doesn't produce enough oil and products that are being daily applied to the skin, creates that environment that build up bacteria and fungus, trapping them, making an environment that can harbor unhealthy bacteria, causing infection over time. So what that really means is they're told by a doctor or someone not to shower or bathe, and to just keep applying, product, Cetaphil, Aquaphor, or whatever. And so what happens is you get this buildup of bacteria on the skin because you're not cleansing the skin and you're putting new product on. So you're trapping that bacteria day after day, or fungus, and then you end up getting a bacterial infection on your skin. And you as an individual think, I have so many skin issues, okay? But the truth is that if you're cleansing, getting that bacteria off and capping it with one of the products, then you're trapping that skin cell moisture. So this notation is not a safe practice, continuing to not shower or bathe every day, because we'll go into kind of the science behind it. For those that are sensitive or have eczema, dry skin. Sure, those with dry skin may have less oily skin for sure. They're not producing enough oil, or enough oil compared to somebody that's Mediterranean or in a Mediterranean climate where it's much more humid. But we need to create a microenvironment on the skin that mimics more oil production on freshly cleansed skin. And we're going to go into the why. But just to reiterate that, it's very, very important to get freshly cleansed skin capped with moisture instead of having the other way around where we're just capping the skin cells with more product and trapping that bacteria and creating an environment that's really actually unhealthy and really itchy over time. They'll say, I'm so itchy. And I'll say, when's the last time you showered? Well, a week ago. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think you're a dirty person. That's not where we're going with this. It's that you're not giving your skin cells what they need. They're not getting what they need to mend, repair, or nourish anything in order to fix that epidermis layer or the acid mantle. And we'll go into that a little bit more. But dry skin equals inability to hold moisture in the skin due to less hyaluronic acid formation. So that's my hypothesis over 15 years, is that people that don't have or are really dry, also with the oil production, of course, they don't typically have as much hyaluronic acid in their skin. They wrinkle quicker. Dry skin wrinkles a lot quicker. They don't have the ability to hold moisture in the skin, and that's what hyaluronic acid does. We make a lot of product with hyaluronic acid, but we have that natural forming in our skin cells, which is really cool. So oil gland production or other internal reasons like thyroid issues, gluten intolerance, dairy, and dairy is typically because you have a sensitivity to the, people will say I'm lactose intolerant, but really they're beta casein protein intolerant because in processed or pasteurized milk, all of the healthy bacteria has been taken out, and the healthy bacteria helps break down the protein, the beta casein protein in your system. Well, you take that healthy bacteria out, you took away the whole process of how your body can help function. And that's kind of like yogurt and help with that bacteria breakdown. So yogurts, kefirs, water kefir kombucha, any ferments, they help to break down things that were in the food prior, and they're there for a purpose, just like it's there for a purpose with milk as well. So some people will have issues with skin if they have those sensitivities, or sometimes sugar. Sugar sensitivity will cause a reaction and get super dry, or specifically spotty, dry spot skin. So just so you guys know, I'm not here to diagnose you for a thyroid issue or anything like that. If you've tried product and you still feel super, super dry, we're talking like so dry that you can't handle yourself. In that case, you might have one of those issues, a thyroid, dairy allergy, or a gluten intolerance. So some things to just keep in the back of your mind as well. So how do we remedy the issue with dry skin, eczema, and psoriasis? Trapping clean moisture in the skin cell and applying a very, very hydrating, specific oil combination that the skin cells accept, okay, and do not repel. So a lot of times you'll go to events or whatever and you'll see body butters and all sorts of stuff, and it's fun and cool and fun to use or whatever. It smells really good. But what's the purpose of the oils that we use at ModernRoots? And I specifically formulate so those oils mimic our natural human sebum in the oil gland, because if it doesn't, you can get clogging. Now you're clogging your pores. Now you're creating, sure, you're going to trap moisture, which is great, but is it right for your skin cells in your acid mantle? And we'll kind of go into that a little bit about that acid mantle. So trapping clean moisture, of course, in the skin cell and applying a very hydrating specific oil combination that the skin cells accept and it doesn't repel is very important to the mending of the acid mantle. So the acid mantle is just below the microbiome, and then you have the acid mantle, and then you have the lipid fat layer, and then we get into the epidermis. So the acid mantle is really important to note. I have a drawing in my office, and if somebody is in my office, they could bring me those 2 drawings. That would be awesome, so I can show you guys. So that acid mantle is really important to eczema, and the acid mantle is the part that gets totally screwed up when you have eczema. So this is what the acid mantle looks like when it's healthy, and I'm going to show you a drawing, and then laid down. The acid mantle is laid down to be a healthy state, protecting the blood vessels and epidermis. And that is this guy right here. So I drew this a while back for face care. We've ended up using it a lot so that you guys have a good understanding of why this is happening. So here's your microbiome. This is when you say products help balance the pH and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's that microbiome. This next level right here is the acid mantle. You have your lipid layer. And right under that, you have your epidermis. And in the epidermis, you'll also have some blood vessels. So when you have eczema and it flares up and you start bleeding and all that kind of stuff, we're into the acid mantle, under the acid mantle to the epidermis layer. And that epidermis gets red, irritated, bleeds. You know, little kids will scratch and scratch and scratch. So everything that we're talking about today applies to all ages, babies, children, adults, and elderly. So really a great way for you guys to utilize all these products for everyone in the family as well. So your acid mantle looks like this, nice and even. It's laid down. I always refer to it microscopically as the hair on the back of a dog. And when that acid mantle is upset, those hairs, and they're not hairs, it's the actual skin layer, go up, and they are like a really mad dog. Like when a dog's hair stands up, and it looks more like this. So this is the acid mantle here, and it's very upset. And in between these skin sloughing layers that are standing up, right here, you do have some of the blood vessels that come into there. And then this pink area right here, I don't know if you guys can see that well. Here, I'll put this behind it. That pink area right here is your skin reacting, and it looks like a rash, or it looks like it's bleeding or something like that. It's because that acid mantle is so upset, and in between all of those standing up areas is fresh tissue that is now super sensitive. Okay, so for example, when you put a product on your kid that has a water additive and a preservative, and they're really rashy, or it's standing up, or even on yourself, and you put it on and it stings, because you're putting it into fresh tissue, and that's why it stings. So the whole point is to get that acid mantle to lay back down with great product that doesn't sting at first, right? And then you can use something else once it lays back down and you don't have exposed tissue. You guys have any questions, pop in and let me know. Hi, Meg. Hi. So it's really important to make sure that the acid mantle lays back down before we apply a product with a water additive. Otherwise, it will sting. We do have one product, grapeseed cream. We'll talk about it later. But that product does a good job of not stinging, especially for little ones. But we can talk about that in a second as we get there. So once that acid mantle lays back down, then your skin can actually mend. So skin mends much quicker with a moist, clean environment where the skin has elasticity and movement, okay? So when your skin doesn't have elasticity or movement, then it kind of breaks open, and you can feel that. So we need to make sure that we're capping that skin cell after taking a bath or shower, and we'll get more to the do's and don'ts there. But then your skin has more elasticity, and now it can mend and correct itself much easier, okay? So I always think of it this way. Dry skin wrinkles quicker everywhere, not just our face. So dry skin on the chest, neck, hands, body, feet. So being well moisturized after a bath or shower is incredibly important. Our job at ModernRoots, my job, your job today, is to understand that we need the acid mantle to lay back down the upset dog's hair in order to mend and repair the rash, the dry spots, the abrupted skin. In order to do so, we need to get moisture to the skin cells, okay? Bathing or showering with warm water once a day lets the skin cells drink, okay? I actually physically imagine my skin cells drinking, okay? Does that really happen? No, but they do absorb, right? So I imagine them drinking, and just like we need water to drink, it's very important that our skin cells drink, so to speak, and nourish themselves. So water equals nourishment equals repair. So a lot of times the end result isn't costly. It's knowing the right process. Okay. I want you to think of water as the entire lifeline to all humanity, all plants, all microorganisms, and anything living. That includes your skin cells, because they are living. The ones that are going to be doing the mending and repairing, not your dead skin cells, we need to give them life, okay? And so by giving them life of a shower or a bath is really, really important. So if you guys are understanding this, give a thumbs up, give a wave, give a heart, let me know you're there. So once bathing or showering, the goal is to cap the moisture in the cell before the cell starts to dehydrate or evaporate. Okay, cool. Nice hearts and thumbs. Let me know that you guys are getting it. So once you cap that cell in that moisture before the cell starts to dehydrate or evaporate, the products do their job. Okay, so with that, that's what I'll be talking about tonight, is basically capping that skin cell with the products. So people with oilier skin naturally cap the skin cell with their oil glands. Okay, people that are Mediterranean descent or a little bit oilier, they end up capping their skin cell after bath or shower quicker because their oil glands are producing more. For people with dry skin, we don't really produce as much. And I have super dry skin as well. So I stay super hydrated because, one, of course, you wrinkle slower, your skin has more elasticity, and like, I want to glow. You know what I mean? Like, I want my skin to glow. I don't want just my face to glow. I want my arms, my body to glow. And when you glow, your body feels good. Your skin feels good because you're moisturizing it well. And of course, that starts with that bath or shower first. So after we are capping that skin cell, or also when the air holds more moisture in the summer, that's why some people will come in and say, oh, I'm not very dry in the summer, but I'm super dry in the winter. It's because the air is so dry. It's literally sucking the hydration out of your skin cell quicker. Okay. Where summer, it's really humid out, or depending on where you live. And so you don't have as much loss of moisture. Does that make sense? So people don't need as much body butter, or will switch to a lighter lotion in summer. When you have dry skin, you need something that mimics, really important about body care and the products that we're going to be using, that mimics the natural human sebum in the oil gland. So human sebum is produced in that oil gland. That's really, really important. And the acid mantle is made up of acid in our skin mixed with the oil glands. So it's part of the lipid layer and our oil glands that produce the acid mantle. So in order to have a healthy acid mantle as well, we have to have a good body butter, lotion, something that is mimicking our natural human sebum. Okay, cool? All right, so I'm going to share with you a story about my daughter and some of the products that I have developed based on her skin cells that has helped thousands of people across the US, if not more, because it's shipped to New Zealand, it's shipped to Canada, it's shipped all over. So, which is really cool. But she was born with a severe skin disorder, one of the 5 forms of eczema, one of the most severe forms. And so when she was little, I breastfed her, and a lot of that covered up a lot of the issues that she was having, because honestly, breast milk is amazing. But so once the little ones will go off breastfeeding, sometimes they'll have a flare-up of skin disorder. And because they're not getting that extra nutrients that will end up coming out of their skin, because all of their glands or all of their organs are getting all the extras, and they're producing, their body's producing more than what they need, so it comes out in their skin. They're not getting that anymore. So what happens is they kind of have a flare-up. So Gianna had a major flare-up, and she ended up scratching and itching and doing all sorts of stuff to herself, because that's what little ones do, and would rip open her acid mantle. So I started studying which oils would be best for her skin, because we did try steroids. We tried all sorts of stuff. It thinned her skin. It made it white. It wasn't a long-term, with the skin disorder, it's long-term. So that's not a good long-term decision that I thought. And so I started creating biological mimicking oils for her skin. And so once I started making a product for her, which took me quite a while to develop, I scraped her skin cells and looked at what exactly her skin cells were attracted to, and which were neutral, and which were also would repel those skin cells and move away from it. And at that point, I decided that after going through hundreds of oils, which oils were the best and in what ratios, because ratio is incredibly important. So making sure that she had a very good experience with this from the get-go, because those that have tried products on little ones and they scream and they cry and they run from you, and it feels scary as a parent to do that to your kids. So you want to make sure that they're getting the best of the best right from the get-go. And so making sure that Gianna had those options right off the bat instead of continuing to use a steroid treatment. Of course, there was, doctors would recommend Cetaphil, not bathing or showering, which is the opposite, the myth that we were talking about at the beginning. But making sure that I was trying other things. I tried Cetaphil, Aquaphor, you name it. And they all contained parabens, and they all contained endocrine disruptors or soy or corn byproducts. So making sure that we at Modern Roots are supporting people with allergies and especially not knowing sometimes those allergies as well. So that's kind of Gianna's story, and she uses the product today. And if she is using the product, which she is religious about, you would not know that she has any skin disorder. In fact, her skin is flawless, which if you've been at the store and she's been working, she gets the compliment of, your skin is glass. But it is important that she is using the product. Otherwise, it is not. It is a little bit of a catastrophe. So making sure that she does use the product and the products that we'll go through. So this is where we get into what we use for products. And if you guys have any questions about the products going forward or about the process that we're going to talk about, then be sure to chime in and ask. So first, to wash, Chunky Cheeks Face and Baby Bar is one of the first baby bars or any bar that I made. We use it for face for rosacea at the store. We use it for babies as an anti-inflammatory. It's wonderful to use on sensitive skin. It's formulated initially for baby, but it works so good on inflamed red skin. And one of the reasons for that is it contains red palm oil, and it's a great source of antioxidants. So making sure that the skin is getting enough antioxidants to flourish and make sure that the skin cells are getting what they need right off the bat with that water and good quality soap like this is important, which can help mitigate the visible impact of aging on your skin. So red palm oil is a great source. Now, any palm that we use at the store is QAI certified and sustainable, meaning we don't support farms that take down large areas of palm and don't replant, because it does affect orangutan habitat. So we are very careful with our palm oil and where it's sourced. So I have been to some of those farms, and it's really fun to see their process as well. So it's very important to be sustainable at Modern Roots. So in red palm oil, it's not a highly processed oil, which is really important to us at Modern Roots. We look for oils that aren't processed or minimally processed, because I believe that all the extra nutrients on it without heat is very important to keeping all of the vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, flavonoids, all that kind of stuff on the oil, in the oil intact, because it helps overall all the skin health. So again, that's the Chunky Cheeks Face and Baby Bar. It's a orange colored bar from the red palm, and it has lots and lots of calendula in it as well, which is anti-inflammatory. So we want to be in the shower, bath, anti-inflammatory, anti-redness, all that good stuff. And this is not an essential oil blend in there for those that are really sensitive to essential oils. So it's very important, especially for babies, sometimes for people's face, for certain individuals that can't handle that. So Chunky Cheeks is a really great resource for that. So Gentle Goat and Oats is the next soap. And we have Scrubby Doos. If you haven't seen those, you put the soap in them, you cinch them. They're awesome. Our Stillwater girls make them for us, and that's so great. But they are really helpful because they simulate like a body wash, and then you hang it to dry. You don't have any soap sludge. It dries out quick. It's a really great way to use your bar and to prolong its life as well. So Gentle Goat and Oats is another soap bar. It's also a sensitive skin bar. It's appropriate for all ages. It's mild and has natural forming sodium lactate from goat's milk, which is super great. Oatmeal is added to this bar for its ability to soothe, and kokum butter to bring all the ingredients that are in this bar further into the skin cell epidermis layer, even into the dermis, which is really important to feel moisturized. And it's a powerhouse of moisturizing benefits, kokum butter is. So lavender actually tops this bar off with a calm scent, and it's really great for bedtime. So people that want baby, I love to partner this Gentle Goat and Oats and then like the Hush Be Calm lotion at bedtime, because it's a lavender oat blend. So anyone with babies, wonderful. Elderly as well, love it. But the next soap bar is Oats Milk and Honey. This is also one of my first bars based on eczema, all that stuff. Oats Milk and Honey is similar to Gentle Goat and Oats, but it has raw honey added last for its reparative benefits. And it also, the goat milks for the sodium lactate, and then moisturizing effect, and oatmeal to soothe. I think there was a comment up here, so I'm just going to scroll up really quick. My husband and I have been using Chunky Cheeks many years, and it's perfect. Yeah, once you get on Chunky Cheeks, kind of aren't coming off. Like you realize like the benefits of it and how it makes your skin feel. And people come in and buy them 8, 9, 10 at a time, stock up, because they will come in sometimes and we are completely out and we have to wait until the next set is done curing. And sometimes we don't have a good gauge of that. When people buy online, they'll buy 30, 40 bars at a time, give them to their family members. So if you are lucky enough to get chunky sheets, grab a couple. So oats, milk, and honey, of course, it has the oatmeal to help soothe as well. So salt bars. Some people think, oh, salt is going to burn. But no, it's the opposite. In a water softener in your home, the water does not burn, or the water does not burn, not in case of the water, but the salt that's been added to the water to flush its system and to soften it, that doesn't burn, correct? So the salt bar works in the same way. So the salt bar acts as a miniature water softener, allowing the perfect ratio of cocoa butter, olive oil, and coconut oil to moisturize the skin. Let's stop and talk about coconut oil for a second. Some people will come in and say, I'm just so dry. And I'm like, what are you using as a moisturizer? And they say, coconut oil. I'm like, yeah, I was going to guess. The reason is that coconut oil is an antifungal and an antibacterial. When you have an antifungal and an antibacterial together, you typically have a very, very drying oil. Now, coconut oil does serve a purpose in certain formulations, like our hydrating body butter or in some of these salt bars. And the reason that it is really drying in that antibacterial and antifungal aspect is it's trying to kill and get rid of the fungus or the bacteria. And coconut oil is great at that, but it's not great at moisturizing. In the summer, it's a good moisturizer where people will say, I use it in the summer and it just does so good. Or I'll hear from people that have Mediterranean descent or darker complected that have more oil production. They're like, yeah, it works great for me because it's drying them out, because it's taking some of the oil off their skin. So oil dissolves oil in this case, certainly with the coconut oil. So making sure that coconut oil alone, some people will use it on their face, and it's a great cleanser because it's an antibacterial and an antifungal. So it's good to oil wash with, but you're washing, you're not really moisturizing. So we use it in formulas for the antibacterial and antifungal properties. Cool? Got it? Okay. So I bet a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, no wonder why I've been so dry. But you overusing coconut oil can definitely dry you out or make your legs really ashy. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So after bathing or showering, it is incredibly important that you immediately lightly towel off. I'm talking lightly towel off. Leave a little bit of moisture on your skin so that your skin cells are like still drinking. You know what I'm talking about? They like take that sip. We want them to stay moisturized before the evaporation, dehydration process begins. Okay. So right after bath or shower, you lightly towel off. And we also have customers, and you're going to apply one of the following. We'll go through these products. But we also have customers that use a combination of these products to layer them. So if layering is your jam or you feel like you need a little bit more, we can talk about that. But they will layer stuff. And we're not going to talk about the massage oils today, but layering the massage oils with any of these have been really, really helpful for many, many people. So keep that in mind. We have anointed, relaxing. We have lovely, no, not lovely, the love oils. And then we have one other as well, which is the sandalwood and shea. So sandalwood and shea is one of the most moisturizing of all of them. So if you feel like you need to layer, that's a good option as well. So let's go through the initial product that I created for Gianna, and it's called Hydrating Body Butter. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this in store. It's this big tub of yellow oils, whipped yellow oils. And we changed our process with this a little bit because there would get like a little hard bead in there, and that's the coconut oil beating up because of temperature change. So if it goes through a big temperature change, like a 30 to 40 degree temperature change, went from your car overnight to Florida the next day, or in your baggage and you went somewhere, that's why that typically happens. Okay. So we're whipping it in a different way to help mitigate that issue, but I don't want to add an ingredient that would emulsify them together and possibly cause a reaction for some people because this is so pure. So the Hydrating Body Butter, the first product I created for Gianna, when I realized steroids were a lifelong everyday process with no benefits. If you're going to do something every day, it might as well be moisturizing, and it might as well be giving you nutrients and nourishment instead of thinning the skin and causing it to have decoloration, some discoloration there. So again, Hydrating Body Butter, I developed this by scraping Gianna's skin cells to see what was attracted to them. Hundreds of oils and combinations I went through, like we talked about, to see what was the best fit. And the combination and ratio of the oils is the most important reason why it works. This formula is perfect for capping the cell and creating a slow release evaporation throughout the day. It smells like honey. It's got a little bit of honey undertone to it. It does not directly have honey in it. This is a phthalate and paraben-free scent blend because people that have sensitivities to essential oils can use this. This is what it looks like. You can see that I've been using it because I love it as we're going into a cooler season. You can definitely tell in my skin. So to get ahead of dry skin, I'm going to start using this puppy in September for colder climates. It does really help mitigate your dry skin that you waited maybe too long to do something about last year. And then we have to go through this whole process. It's a longer process, which is totally fine. But to keep you comfortable, you can start it earlier. Just framed the same picture in my house. Oh my gosh, I love this picture. So this picture was drawn it's a Minnesota picture. So really cool. Yay, Minnesota. My mom has great success using this and the eczema lotion mixed. Yeah, that's a great combo. And we're going to talk about the eczema lotion in the next few minutes. But the hydrating body butter, this formula is perfect for capping that skin cell and creating a slow release evaporation throughout the day. And by the next time you take a bath or shower, which is about 24 hours later or within that 24 hours, it has been the right amount of time that the water is lost in the cell. So your cell goes like this, you cap it with this, and you have a slow release all day. And by the next time you take a shower, it's almost all gone in the moisture. The whole point is to not lose all the moisture, right? So this does a good job of that. Take a shower, we start the process again. Cap it, slow release, shower, it's big again, slow release. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's been about the right amount of time that the water in the cell is lost, is within 20 to 24 hours with this product. This goes on like butter. It feels really good, and it melts into the skin that has been freshly washed. So really best applied to freshly washed skin, and it absorbs quicker. So this is Gianna's favorite product because it works, and based on her skin cells, but also based on skin cells that are similar across I did testing on over 58 people on this product before it ever came out, and it's wonderful. Works for so many people. So that's the hydrating body butter. You guys chime in if you have any questions. So let's see. The grapeseed cream is next, and I actually used all of mine up, but it looks just like this, but it's white, and it's for super high sensitivities. It's for the highest level of sensitivities, like it works kind of like a purposeful Cetaphil with actual benefits though. The grapeseed cream has a small amount of magnesium in it, but it doesn't have parabens or endocrine disruptors, just like Cetaphil or some Aquaphor products do. So parabens get into your skin cell wall and they can wreak havoc and have been known to create some forms of skin cancer. And phthalates are like a plastic that get into your skin and cause the pores to clog. So that's the reason why we don't use those. We don't really believe in putting plastic on the skin or in our food. So parabens or phthalates have been known to be in certain breads as well. So we want to avoid those. So this has the grapeseed cream has a gentle dose of magnesium for skin disorder, plus a minimal ingredients, very minimal for high sensitivities. No butters, no milk, no shea, no coconut, no beeswax. So making sure that we're staying super clean. Not that these other ones aren't clean, but clean in terms of minimal ingredients for people, so that they can feel and be safe with their skin sensitivities. Okay, so there's a grapeseed oil in this, a high level, high oleic grapeseed oil that does really, really well for high sensitivities, and it's organic, which is really important. But this product glides on really easy. It absorbs quicker than the hydrating body butter, and it absorbs that really, really quickness out of the shower, which is really important to men. Men don't like any little greasy feeling. Some that have psoriasis are totally okay with it because they're used to it. But if they haven't been wearing something on the skin very much, little things like oils can affect them and certainly their mood. So I always go for grapeseed if it's a man right away, just because it absorbs quicker and it has the magnesium in it and it's going to help them immediately. We have several doctors that buy this that are men that come into the store and buy this for themselves to use at work. One, it doesn't smell like anything. It's high sensitivity, so they can use it around their patients, and it also works. So really important. Let's see, what else? It doesn't have that coconut, shea butter, or beeswax for people that have those allergies. And if you have those allergies, grapeseed cream has your name on it. So we're going to move on to our eczema lotion, which is in this black bottle. You can see that mine is well used. Gianna will use this. I will use this if I'm feeling really dry, but a really great product because how and what the ingredients are that work with this. I'm going to read you an email that I received from a medical doctor about this product. And it says, my partner Jane purchased your eczema lotion in your Stillwater store for me to try on my recalcitrant skin. I like this guy already. It is wonderful and better than anything I have tried during 8 years of this problem, last evaluated at Mayo. I live in Duluth and would like to order more. Please advise. Thank you. Thankfully, Robert, an MD. So a medical doctor. So really cool that he found this product through his partner and has been using this, and it's the only thing that's been giving him relief. And let's dig into the why behind this is giving him relief. This is a wonderful maintenance lotion with blue vervain, which helps strengthen the skin and connective tissue. So we want to help in this product connect that connective tissue to be stronger so that it's not as easily broken. Okay, so most likely in his case, his skin is breaking open or having rash or dry spots because his connective tissue is being disrupted all the time on that acid mantle. Okay, so the other items in this are highly focused on moisture and anti-inflammatory properties, including calendula, great anti-inflammatory, German chamomile for the calmness, panthenol, which is vitamin B5, nettle leaf extract, shea butter, grapefruit essential oil, which helps to loosen the dead skin cells better and let them shed. Because why do we need to moisturize our dead skin cells? No, let's get rid of them. So that's going to help shed that quicker, that grapefruit essential. Vitamin E, which is an antioxidant as well. Hemp oil, and there's so much more in this as well. While many people use this initially because it has eczema in the name, this is really appropriate once the acid mantle has been laid back down and is mended. It's a preventative. So it's a preventative for the future. Once that acid mantle is laid back down, you can switch over to this from like the hydrating body butter if you don't want to use the hydrating body butter. But this is great because it doesn't have a water additive, isn't going to sting those little ones or adults. You know, that's not fun. Get that acid mantle to lay back down, and then you can use this one as a maintenance. Some people will use this and then this, and that's also beneficial to layer it. So totally up to you on that one, or depending on how dry you are. So the next product is Kelp Help, and Kelp Help comes in a tube, and it's a twist-up lotion. It's a hard body lotion, and it can be brought with to work, school, or other places. I love this one to throw into Gianna's backpack or wherever she's going. She could rub it on dry spots. You know, a lot of times people with skin disorder, dry spots get them in creased areas or joint areas, meaning the elbow, the wrist, neck, backs of knees, ankles. And those are predominantly the areas that they will get their dry spots. So it's really, you know, they're having an itchy day or something's going on and they just rub it right on. And this is why Kelp Help works. Kelp encourages an increase in collagen production, which ultimately helps to hold moisture in longer. Remember we talked about that cell and holding moisture in longer. So we want to encourage it to hold moisture in longer. And it's very soothing. So Kelp is very soothing. Copaiba essential oil is from balsam, and it cleanses, soothes, and moisturizes. So I love that copaiba is a cleanser, and it's a natural cleanser so that you're killing bacteria while you're putting it on, so we're not trapping anything that can cause itchiness later. Does that make sense? Mango, cocoa, and shea butter, all of these butters are in this, and they meld together to give you superior elasticity to skin. Elasticity is important, of course, in order to move freely without causing breaks throughout the epidermis. So when you are constantly causing those breaks in the epidermis, it is very disrupting to the acid mantle. And when you create havoc on that, you can bleed, or it's uncomfortable, it itches, okay? And that's just totally uncomfortable. So elasticity, of course, is that really important part of the puzzle here. And Kelp Help allows that elasticity where you're putting it on dry spots. So elasticity is important to that epidermis, like we talked about. So any questions on Kelp Help? Otherwise, we are going to move on to the mango lotion stick, which is similar. The mango lotion stick is similar to Kelp Help. Has a few differences. It doesn't have the kelp, but it has some other ingredients. So it's more for rashing or chapped skin. So kiddos in the winter that have it on their face, or like really, really chapped cheeks, and they come in, you can grab the kelp or the mango lotion stick and just rub it all over their face. So easy to use. You don't even need to use your hands. Sometimes people don't want to apply things on other people because it's messy or whatever, but mango lotion stick is really helpful. I like to do it before I go skiing, or little kids when they go out to play in winter and and it's windy and they get some wind rash. It clears that right up, which is so awesome. Can you apply Kelp Help to disrupted skin? Yes, and it does not burn. So Kelp Help, absolutely, right on disrupted skin. What I like to do is damage the top a little bit, because anytime you damage like chapsticks or hard oils, they go on so much thicker and better. So definitely damage the top before you put it on. It goes on better, especially to sensitive skin or rashing or disrupted skin. So mango lotion stick has almond and cocoa butter in it, and it's highlighted in this stick to provide quicker repair to the top layer of the skin. Typically that top layer, like we talked about rashing, that's the top layer where your microbiome's messed up now and your acid mantle, and we can get that back with just using the mango lotion stick. So the next product is called Soothing Oatmeal, which is one of my absolute favorites. You can tell mine is always well used. The Soothing Oatmeal, by the way, all of our oats and everything at ModernRoots is gluten-free. We go through great lengths to make sure that everything is done at a gluten-free facility in terms of where the ingredients are coming from. So really important to note. So our oatmeal in this is in a gluten-free facility. One of my absolute favorites, this blend has oat oil, which locks in moisture, creating a protective barrier, helping keep the moisture from bath or shower present longer. It's naturally high in ceramides or lipid molecules that help with the protective layer. Okay. So oat oil is a compressed, you're pressing the oat kernel, but like oatmeal is like flattened or rolled. This is actually the kernel, and it's pressed and the oat oil comes out. And so, that's a really awesome way, to pump up this lotion instead of just using oats. It helps with that protective layer and can also protect from environmental damage, oat oil does, and pollution, which is so cool. Oats are awesome. Oat oil really is amazing. Not to mention it is incredibly soothing. So it helps with itchiness as well. So think of like grandma and her oatmeal bath. This is like a supercharged oatmeal bath that grandma would have had, but she just had oats. So we're using the compressed form of that oil. And it's also that incredibly soothing aspect of it. This lotion also has white willow bark in it. So if you have extra dead skin cells, it's going to help slough that off the next time you take a shower quicker, because we don't need to be moisturizing dead skin cells. In the shower, we have a Turkish exfoliator as well. And that's really great to use with the chunky cheeks, the gentle goat and oats, and oats, milk, and honey. So you can use that Turkish exfoliator, which has rough bamboo on it, and you rub it on your legs, or you can gently use it on your face. It helps take off that top layer as well. After using this, that's going to be really beneficial because you're sloughing off more of those dead skin cells. So that's got the white willow bark in it, and it also evens your skin tone because you're taking off that top layer, and it helps shed dead skin cells quicker over time. Bergamot is also in this, bergamot essential oil. It's good for wound repair. And if you do have some wounds, to use that for wound repair. It's an anti-inflammatory, where ylang ylang essential oil, which is in this, is for the calming and any redness you should have, reducing redness reducing properties, which is really important to dry skin and sensitive skin care. This also has Palo Santo in it, which is profoundly regenerative and helpful to control allergic reactions, future allergic reactions, which is really cool about Palo Santo, or any reactions in the future on your skin while you're wearing it. It is perfect for people with very dry skin. Does anyone use soothing oatmeal? If you do, give a heart, thumbs up, tell me about your experience. This is one of my favorites. And then lastly, what we're going to be talking about is, it's kind of a spoiler alert because it's one of our 12 days of Christmas, and because you guys tuned in, you get to know about it, which is awesome. It's one of our 12 days that's coming out December 11th, and it has, it's called Moringa Scalp Oil, and this has been in the works for several years, but it's for eczema or really dry, itchy scalp, or to help with hair regrowth or help with hair growth in general. A few years has gone into developing this product, finding the right ratio and formulation for quick repair to the scalp, but being effective with itchiness and overlayering of the skin cells, which is what happens in psoriasis. A certain patch will overlay its skin cells, and that's why it gets rough and raised, because you're having an overlaying of skin cells, which is highly annoying. And exfoliation and using the Turkish exfoliator in those spots really does help. But it definitely helps with overlaying of those skin cells. The best way to use this scalp oil is after shampooing and conditioning, when your head is still wet and your hair is still a little wet. So it takes that moisture and makes this more absorbable. You place the oil throughout the scalp and massage it in. You leave it on 1 hour and take a comb and gently comb the scalp to lift the dry skin or dandruff, or to help stimulate. And it lifts that dry skin out, and you can rinse and recondition if you need to. It's safe to use daily, but once under control, you want to use it 1 time a week as a preventative. Okay. So again, use it daily to get it under control, or every other day, whatever you have time for. And then you can use it once a week as a preventative. Moringa stimulates hair growth, and by stimulating the hair follicle, and I actually have it in the picture here. Down here is the hair follicle. Oh my gosh, it's upside down. Okay, it's right here is the hair follicle, and that's also making sure that it's cleansed really well within that hair follicle, right here. And that's really important that it gets cleansed well, because the hair can grow better and it can do what it needs to do without being clogged. When you clog those hair follicles, it doesn't grow as well. So making sure to clean that out really well in a natural way, and Moringa does that. The vitamins and minerals found in Moringa help to reduce itchiness, improve circulation. It also has basil essential oil, which also helps to stimulate blood flow, which results in a healthy scalp environment. Blood flow is very important. And a lot of times people don't have healthy blood flow to their scalp. And that can wreak havoc on making it dry, itchy, issues, and oil production decreases. So you're not replenishing it with healthy human sebum, scalp human sebum. Castor oil's in this. It's a great detox, and shea oil for the benefits of keeping gentle moisture in. So the Moringa scalp oil, even if you don't have those issues, just having a healthy scalp is super important. It's also important. You're like, oh, I don't have issues now, but if you start using something, even once a month, it's really a good way to clean out that follicle better than what a shampoo would ever do. Oils are really good at getting in there and cleaning out that follicle really well. And then providing vitamins and minerals to the scalp, where we neglect that a lot, I think. It's something that we don't think of because it's covered by hair. We start to think about it when it's no longer covered by hair. So, okay, let's see. Could it be used before washing your hair? You could use it before washing your hair. Absolutely. That water, I'd spray my hair with maybe some water on the scalp first so that it absorbs a little bit quicker and better before washing. That would be a good idea. Does this work well for people that have lost hair or really thinning of hair due to chemo? Yes. So chemo is a definitely wreaks havoc. This will be a good one for people that have gone through chemo or even radiation on scalp. It will be helping with that. It does have an ingredient called octyllodecanol, and that ingredient helps to stimulate hair growth as well and the itchiness. And so definitely can help with that. It doesn't help with hair color. A lot of times after chemo, hair will come in completely gray or black or white or a different color, and it doesn't necessarily help with hair color. So I hope I answered your question. But moringa does help lock that moisture in for a longer period of time. So lastly, I'm going to talk about eczema on the face, because there's a few different products that you should be using for eczema on the face. And it's more specific, developed for thinner skin on the face and different human sebum producing on the face than the rest of the body. So there will be mineral face wash that's really gentle and mild for face. And a good reparative. You could also use the blue tansy oil cleanser, which is really, really awesome. That helps in oil dissolving oil instead of being a wash in terms of water. So you can use that as well. Or you can do a double cleanse with the mineral face wash and then the blue tansy oil cleanser. That's also really helpful. Then I would be using the repairing face oil. If you have eczema on the face, you're going to skip a toner because it might burn until you can get that eczema under control. But the repairing face oil helps to lay down that acid mantle on the face in a gentle and non-toxic way. You could also use a clear skin oil hydrator, which a lot of people have found super helpful in the winter, or they'll even mix it with our goat's milk face cream, the chaga face cream, or the carrot seed glow. It kind of pumps it up in terms of more oil. If they're not producing as much oil in the winter, or they just don't produce enough oil in general. So again, those are the mineral face wash, blue tansy oil cleanser, the repairing face oil, or the clear skin oil. So all of those are really great choices. Any questions, guys? It's been kind of a quieter night. If you guys have any questions, pop them in now. We're getting ready to be finished with our conversation on eczema care. I hope that you guys learned something about showering and what that means to the skin cell. That doesn't mean that you need to aggressively use sulfates or anything like that. We don't use sulfates at the store. We also have body washes that would work for this, like the TR body wash if you want something like a body wash instead. But they're really, really beneficial ingredients in these products that help mitigate sensitive skin issues, eczema, psoriasis, or dry skin. What products are best for both eczema and also acne-prone skin? The repairing face oil for face, and then the soothing oatmeal for body, because it does contain that white willow bark. Some people that have eczema on face that have gotten it to be under control will switch to Ambrette face lotion, which also has salicylic acid, white willow bark in it, which definitely pumps up the ability to shed that skin cell quicker and have great results with it as well. So again, repairing face oil for face, soothing oatmeal for body. And then also for acne prone skin, I would start with the Chunky Cheeks Face and Baby Bar because it's so gentle for you and it's really good for irritated skin as well. You can go head to toe with Chunky Cheeks too. So it's kind of a quick rundown in the shower. What product would you recommend as everyday use for baby and toddler? Everyday use for baby and toddler. Chunky Cheeks Face and Baby Bar, the Gentle Goat and Oat, or the Oat Milk and Honey is appropriate for them. If they don't have eczema or they just have slightly dry skin, wiping them down with a warm towel every day, not even necessarily having to use a shower or bath every day, but the water is really important to that sensitive baby skin. And then capping it with one of the products here. But also if it's just lightly dry skin, our Sweet Baby Lotion is phenomenal. Not only phenomenal, you'll want to cuddle with them afterwards because it smells so good, or Hush Be Calm Lotion. Those are not featured here tonight, but really great for sensitive baby skin. The Soothing Oatmeal is going to be great for them. The Hydrating Body Butter, also wonderful. This one, the Hydrating Body Butter, you don't need much, like a pea-size amount does their whole body almost, so it lasts a while, but really great for them. And it gives them that elasticity that their little body needs. Their lipid fat layer is a little bit thicker, but they need that replenished. Or of course, the eczema lotion for them would be good as well. Let's see. What product would you recommend for dry, cracked heels? Soaking in the cucumber mint foot soak because it helps break down that callus better, and then capping it with our cucumber mint foot cream, which has loads of magnesium and mango butter, which helps cap that cell better through a really thick skin wall on the feet. So really a great combo. Cucumber foot soak and the cucumber mint foot cream. Plus it feels cooling. It feels really good. It's got magnesium in it. It's going to help you sleep a little bit better. So it's like a trio. It's a 3-in-1. So you definitely want to use that. Okay, let's see on Facebook. Does this work well for people that have lost hair or really thinning hair due to chemo? Okay, I answered that one. Good product for extremely dry feet cracked open, also for scalp psoriasis. Scalp psoriasis is going to be the Mikado hair oil. Or the Moringa scalp oil that comes out December 11th. We already have kind of a list going of people that want it. So right on December 11th, when that comes out, you can absolutely buy that. Or you can buy the 12 Days of Christmas as the whole shebang at the beginning and you get it and don't even have to wait for the date. It's just so fun. And if you don't like product in there, or the product doesn't suit you something, give it away. It's a re-gift. So yes, definitely to answer yours as well, the cucumber mint foot soak and that cream is phenomenal. We have a couple other products for feet. The tea tree foot loofah soap, you scrub on one end and then on the other end you can scrub really good with, it's got dermabrasion crystals in it. It's got hops in it. It's got some really great oils in it that help kill bacteria as well. And that scrubs super good. That's the tea tree foot soap. And it's a loofah is on the other side as well. So it scrubs as well, which is really nice. So any other questions, guys? If you do, shoot them in. I hope you learned something tonight about the product and how it works, but really the process by which we get there and how to mend skin by keeping it nourished and keeping the environment clean and precise and making sure that that microbiome and that acid mantle are well nourished by your skin cells drinking water. When will the 12 Days of Christmas be available for purchase? December 1st is going to be our first layout of our 12 days. I will do a whole video on 12 days. You guys do not want to miss it. It's our one batch only of every product. It's really fun to be part of, and it's great product this year. Every year, I feel like it gets better, of course, as a developer, but lots of great stuff for sensitive skin this year and some cool magnesium products coming out. But they will be available December 1st, and we will probably post what they are a week before December 1st and do a video on all of the stuff for you guys to get in on. So thank you. Very informative. Awesome. I am so glad that you guys are enjoying these and learning from them. And if you guys don't have any questions, I hope you can learn and also use the product in a way that you didn't see before, of course. So without further ado, I will say goodnight and thanks so much for watching, guys. It was really nice to meet with you here as well again for our eczema care and remedies here at Modern Roots.